Hello, everyone. I'm Jared Barton on behalf of the President's Athletic Conference and the PAC Sports Network. After another great season on the pitch, it's time to unveil our postseason accolades as we look at the 2025 PAC Soccer men's and women's all-conference teams, as well as our newcomers of the year, offensive players of the year, defensive players of the year, and coach of the year honors. Let's first start with the PAC men's soccer all-conference honorable mention squad. Goalkeeper Caden Bennett, Allegheny. Goalkeeper Maxwell Cottrell, Chatham. Goalkeeper Derek Ufoltz, Hiram. Goalkeeper Cameron Rock, St. Vincent. Goalkeeper Graham Ewart, W&J. Defender Mattis Nolet Gagne, Allegheny. Defender Nawel Vivas, Bethany. Defender Charlie Ayers, Chatham. Defender Mike Rogers, Geneva. Defender Logan Pappert, Geneva. Defender Simon Schoenfeld, Hiram. Defender Cade Coldiron, St. Vincent. Defender Grant Becker, Teal. Defender Cole Young, W&J. Defender Gabe Bowman, Waynesburg. Midfielder Pablo Aguilera, Bethany. Midfielder Isaiah Romo, Chatham. Midfielder Anthony Venditti, Franciscan. Midfielder Luke Lattis, Grove City. Midfielder Carmine Boscarella, Hiram. Midfielder Cameron Mulvaney, St. Vincent. Midfielder Jack Billick, St. Vincent. Midfielder Andy Mangold, Teal. Midfielder Oren Milsick, Westminster. Forward Christopher Colonna, Chatham. Forward Andrew Gaududi, Franciscan. Forward Mitchell Strauss, Teal. And forward Jimmy Gogol, W&J. Now it's time for our PAC men's soccer second team all-conference players. Goalkeeper Devin Patel, Waynesburg. Defender Aiden Daiga, Allegheny. Defender Zachary Muldoon, Franciscan. Defender Will LaBruno, St. Vincent. Defender Jimmy Zielman, Hiram. Midfielder Augustine Rubino, Franciscan. Midfielder Matt Herman, Grove City. Midfielder Ethan Bowser, W&J. Forward Safiri Amisi, Geneva. Forward Daniel Maddock, St. Vincent. Forward John Engel, Waynesburg. Now let's take a look at our first team PAC men's soccer all-conference players. Goalkeeper Keller Krieger, Grove City. Defender Aiden Henniger, Franciscan. Defender Luke Kimmick, Grove City. Defender Colton Hudson, Grove City. Defender Jake Kimmick, Grove City. Midfielder Will Gruca, Allegheny. Midfielder Will Dunda, Geneva. Midfielder Camden Thomas, Grove City. Forward Lucas Cross, Franciscan. Forward Noah Gray, Grove City. And forward Zachary Johnson, Waynesburg. Now let's take a look at our individual award winners for the 2025 campaign. Newcomer of the Year, Daniel Maddock, St. Vincent. Defensive Player of the Year, Colton Hudson, Grove City. Offensive Player of the Year, Noah Gray, Grove City.
Gray, the leading goal scorer, not only on his team, but the entire conference. He'll be the man to take it. Miller trying as much as he can to distract him. Takes a breath. The shot and the goal. Here comes the cross into the mixer, and it's in the back of the net, and the Wolverines have scored.
And the Coach of the Year, Mike Dreves of Grove City. Now it's time to send it over to the PAC Sports Network's Jack Ridenauer, who sat down with the PAC Men's Soccer Coach of the Year, Mike Dreves. Jack?
Thanks, Jared. We're now joined by the PAC Men's Soccer Coach of the Year from Grove City, Coach Mike Dreves. Coach, first off, congratulations on the award, but also capturing the PAC crown over the weekend. Let's start with the award first. I'm curious to hear from you just what does it mean to win this award, but also what does it say about where Grove City Men's Soccer is as a program?
Thanks. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for having me on. I have a great team and I have a great staff, so I just get to be in the interview, but I think I look at it as more of a team award and a staff award. We've had a wonderful season, and, a tribute to the guys and a tribute to a great support staff. So just thanks to those two groups. It means a lot, obviously, to be nominated and awarded by your peers, but it's been a great experience and super excited for the team.
Well, again, congratulations on the award, and want to pivot over to the championship because it was a close battle with a very talented Franciscan team over the weekend. The Barons actually had a chance to score early on, but a huge save in goal by Keller Krieger. Talk a little bit about the job that he did in goal, but also just how much momentum you felt shift to your side after that big save.
Yeah, just to pause first, the Franciscan is amazing. They're really hard to play against. They have an interesting style that they're very, very good at. Coach Brent has done an amazing job. They haven't been in the league very long. They've been to the conference final 4 of the last 5 years, and they've won it twice. So hats off to those guys. They're really hard to play against. And it was just an amazing final to be part of, and it was an honor to play against them. Keller made a great save. Part of their style, they play very direct, and it created the penalty kick because of that style. And then goalkeepers do this every day after practice and when they're playing around. And we've been, knowing that we're in postseason play, penalty kicks are in play, so the guys train them on a daily basis. So I think that's been going on. Keller made an outstanding save, and there was just a huge momentum switch for us, and then we were able to score fairly shortly after that. So tribute to him, and just a great save, and then created a really good chance where we were able to score at the other end. And we had a big crowd, and I think that had a big part in it as well. So it was a cool experience, but you're absolutely correct. There was a momentum shift there for sure.
And you mentioned the goal by Aiden Eck that really kind of got things going and kind of maybe settled the nerves a little bit. How important was it for your group to get that goal early on and hold on to that lead throughout the duration of the match?
Yeah, scoring first is always what coaches plan for, and early goals. We've had a great offensive year. We've been 0-0 at halftime for a couple of matches in the league. Uh, Early goals just and it's 0-0 at halftime. It can go any way, but we're always pushing. Once we can get a first goal, we get a little bit of confidence and we can swing things. And it wasn't swung completely, but we got that goal, which we could hold on to for the match. So that was great.
Well, I'm sure this title win for you is unique because you've now captured a title as a head coach, an assistant coach, and then before the PAC tournament came around as a co-champion back in the 90s. Did it mean anything extra special to you now winning as a head coach, being part of, a team that also won it in the 90s and the early 2000s, or was it just kind of another great opportunity being a part of Grove City Soccer?
Yeah, I mean, this place is special. I've spent most of my life coaching or playing here. I mean, this is my 25th season on staff. If you add the time as a player, it's a lot of seasons being around the program. So it's a special place, and I love it. I love it dearly. Different, completely different. I mean, in '96, no AQ, we were co-champions. Was great. 2005, conference champion through the tournament, but no AQ. We were Pool B at that point. The runners-up W&J got selected out of Pool B. We didn't get to go, even though we won the league. So maybe a little bitterness with the NCAA because Pool B is tough to get a bid out of. But mostly this was just a 20-year journey. We've been really good, but not good enough in moments over that time to win the league, and that's been an unfortunate thing. And that's been kind of a weight around my neck for a bit. I'm not defined by it. It's not my identity. So there's a balance between chasing excellence and having an identity in something, and that's a fine line. I hope I've towed it well. But being able to finally get one as a head coach, and actually to give that experience to the team and to the alumni, because it's meant a ton to them. And I've heard the last 48 hours from a ton of them, and that's been really cool.
Well, good on you for trusting the process and sticking with it, and obviously the program following in suit as well. But I want to zoom out a little bit on the whole season because it was a little bit of a tough beginning for you to the year, but I'm sure that was by design, playing some really good non-conference teams. How much do you feel those early season games kind of helped set in motion this title run?
Yeah, it was a bit rocky. We started with an opening loss. Yeah, and then we played really good teams. I mean, Carnegie Mellon, Barron, Hope, Calvin, Oberlin, Buffalo State. So it was really interesting. Like Carnegie Mellon, UAA, excellent opponent. And I'll maybe I'll misspeak about some of these guys, but specifically you got to play Hope, who was around a 32 team. You played Buffalo State, went to the round of 16. Hope went to the round of 32. Calvin went to the NCAA tournament last year. So you're playing teams that have been there in previous years and have gone really deep. So like these are the teams we want to play. And the trip to, playing Buffalo State was pretty pivotal for us. They have pretty much, the leading goal scorer in the country has 26 goals right now. And we were able to keep him off the board, and he didn't have a shot on goal against us. So that was great. And then we got a trip, we haven't done an overnight in a while, so we got to go to Hope and Calvin and play them back to back. So play Hope, win a big game in a wonderful park against a great team. Play Calvin, get to play them the next day in a wonderful facility. But the game there's lightning delay, and then the game's canceled because there's just no way to continue it, which was unfortunate. We were losing 1-0 with 35 minutes left to play or something like that. Coincidentally, maybe we'll talk about it, but we play Calvin at Hobart on Friday. So we get to rekindle that game that was never finished. So we're pretty excited about that. But that trip, playing two teams from the NCAA tournament in NCAA facilities back to back, where you're getting in a bus and you're going and you're staying in a hotel, was, I think, really pivotal for a year, bonding wise, off the field, but also on the field with a good result against Hope. So it helped.
Well, you're certainly a mind reader because I was going to eventually get into the NCAA tournament, but I wanted, before we get to that, you mentioned about the defense, and I know obviously having the defensive player of the year on your team in Colton Hudson has probably been a nice luxury, but then you also have the offensive player of the year on your team in Noah Gray. What makes them such standout players and that allows them to excel on their respective sides of the field?
Yeah, our team defense is really, really good. And that's collective. I think we have the ball a lot, which is which is a defensive posture in its own. That's philosophy of mine. I just want to have it as much as we can. But they've been really good. Colton, Defensive Player of the Year, plays right-sided center back. Jake Kimmick plays left-sided center back. And those two, we're starting to build a really good partnership. They played in high school together. They're from the same hometown. They've been friends forever. Colton probably is more of a central midfielder, and I've converted him to a center back. My choice. I think he disagreed, but it worked out pretty well. But I challenged those guys. We had a tough loss against Barron, and it was unfortunate. And I told him, I was like, look, you guys almost have to be perfect. I hate to put this on you, but you have to be. And they took it personally for the whole year, I believe. Colton gets Defensive Player of the Year, but I think from a team standpoint, it's been a great team effort. Colton would tell you that. And Noah Gray, maybe playing out of position as a left wing, but he's kind of really found a great niche there. And he's great. He's got a great first touch. He's got a good way to combine with teammates, and he hit a really nice free kick against Hope, which kind of, I think, sparked some things in him and gave him some confidence to kind of, hey, I can do more here. And he's been running with that ever since.
Well, they've certainly been catalysts for your team to get to this point. And like you mentioned, now shifting over to the NCAA tournament, where and who will you be playing, and kind of what is the mindset now getting into the national stage? Yeah,
so in unknown territory. I mean, obviously, we talked, this is the first time we've won the league in 20 years. We haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 1980. So, I mean, I was 5, which isn't the gray hair says it's been a long time. But for us, we're super excited. Obviously, we're traveling to Hobart. We play Hobart and Messiah are on the other side of the bracket. We play Calvin in the first round at 1:30 on Friday. So it's a bit of a trip, not terrible. We're playing on grass. It should be a wonderful experience. I think these guys are just hungry to see what they can do. Calvin's a great side, has been to numerous Final Fours and has a long storied history under their head coach Ryan Souders. We have a lot of respect for them. But look, these guys get another week together, which is what they wanted, because for them, it's that friendship. Friends first, teammates second, I think, and they get to spend another week together. And I think we have a great opportunity. We've competed against Calvin already. They were beating us in the game that we had canceled because of lightning, but we've played them. We have some film on them. We know what we're up against, and we're excited to continue the season for another week. So that's, there's a lot of joy and giddiness, I think, around the group, because we get to do something special that we haven't done. So we're going to lean on, our women's team has really had a great history. Men's lacrosse is doing really good things. So we've got some experience in our department that I'll be leaning on this week to kind of get some hints and tricks. So we'll hopefully get some wisdom from those guys, and we'll have a wonderful week prepping for this.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the championship, the award. Enjoy the overnight stay. Enjoy the road trip. Soak it all in. And good luck in the NCAA tournament.
Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
That's the PAC Men's Soccer Coach of the Year from Grove City, Mike Dreves. Jared, back to you.
Halfway home now as we switch gears over to the women's side of the soccer all-conference action. Let's take a look at our honorable mention selections. Goalkeeper Alex Augustine, Allegheny. Goalkeeper Natalie Foster, Geneva. Goalkeeper Maddie Mills, Grove City. Goalkeeper Morgan Murphy, Westminster. Defender Addison Lloyd, Chatham. Defender Sarah Vesio, Chatham. Defender Catherine DeWolf, Franciscan. Defender Abigail Parker, Franciscan. Defender Cassidy Stopchick, Geneva. Defender Anna Ulmer, Geneva. Defender Becca Deverix, Hiram. Defender Ava Azurin, St. Vincent. Defender Ali Ziddick, W&J. Midfielder Serena Carnahan, Allegheny. Midfielder Elizabeth Gallup, Chatham. Midfielder Noelle Bear, Geneva. Midfielder Bella Rose, Hiram. Midfielder Miracle Hershey, Waynesburg. Midfielder Emma Malaberty, Westminster. Midfielder Amanda Lewis, Westminster. Forward Casey Bender, Allegheny. Forward Monica Bird, Bethany. Forward Emily Horst, Grove City. Forward Kiara White, Grove City. Forward Jordan Kirkwood, St. Vincent. And forward Imogen DeBlois, Teal. Time to move on to our PAC Women's Soccer second team all-conference players. Goalkeeper Ryland Warner, St. Vincent. Defender Emma Milligan, Allegheny. Defender Alexis Arlaus, St. Vincent. Defender Juliana Russell, Westminster. Midfield Tegan Elmore, Franciscan. Midfield Addie Waters, Grove City. Midfielder Addie Fisher, St. Vincent. Midfielder Ainsley Smith, Chatham. Forward Emma Kohler, St. Vincent. Forward Ryland Bugosh, W&J. And forward Amanda Pepe, Waynesburg. Now it's time to take a look at our PAC Women's Soccer All-Conference First Team selections. Goalkeeper Lex Greenleaf, Waynesburg. Defender Hannah Costa, Grove City. Defender Carly Keller, Grove City. Defender Abby Googie, Waynesburg. Defender Waverly Lorne, Waynesburg. Midfielder Catherine Cernikowski, Allegheny. Midfielder Tori Stevenson, Grove City. Midfielder Reagan Mittendorf, Waynesburg. Forward Hallie Marsalis, Chatham. Forward Lauren Muhana, Grove City. And forward Jules Moorbacher, Waynesburg. Let's take a look at our individual award winners for the 2025 campaign. Newcomer of the Year, Lauren Muhana, Grove City.
Back to Tischler and ahead to Stevenson. Finds Tischler. Tischler ahead. Tischler has teammates streaking to the right. Gets it in there. The shot and goal! Wolverines score!
First touch going outside her reach. Now Muhana in behind the shot and the goal.
Defensive Player of the Year, Hannah Costa, Grove City.
And the throw-in coming from the near side. And right there to intercept, it's Costas of St. Vincent. Unable to maintain possession. Costa streaking ahead.
Offensive Player of the Year, Tori Stevenson, Grove City. Coach of the Year, Melissa Lamie, Grove City. Time once again to send it back over to the PAC Sports Network's Jack Ridenauer, who sat down with Melissa Lamie, the head coach of the year of the Grove City College Wolverines. Jack?
Thanks, Jared. We're now joined by the PAC Women's Soccer Coach of the Year from Grove City, Coach Melissa Lamie. Coach, first off, congrats on the award and capturing another PAC title over the weekend. We'll start with the award and then obviously dive into the championship. But how much does this honor mean to you, but also to the team, the program as a whole, having just more attention centered around Grove City women's soccer?
Thanks, Jared. That's definitely an honor. And I will say that I am happy to accept on behalf of the players and my coaching staff. Like, certainly nobody does this alone. I think we have a great group that I get to work with every day. So it's nice to have that recognition, but it's certainly not about me.
Well, obviously, you guys have had such a great season, and with another championship culminating over the weekend as well. A little bit of a tough battle, though. I know it's the third straight championship for you guys, but this was a little bit closer than the last two have been. Your goalkeeper, Maddie Mills, played a tremendous game against arguably the best offense in the PAC in Waynesburg. Talk a little bit about how key her play was on Saturday and just how much she has been a cornerstone for this team all year long.
Yeah, she has probably faced less shots than most keepers through the conference season, and still is ready to go when she has to make the big save. So she had to make a couple big saves for us on Saturday. Certainly in a 1-0 game, the pressure is on, and she came up big for us, as she has all year. She started out the year that way, and she's finished it. She's just been super consistent with that.
Well, you've had consistency all throughout your roster, and I think even impressively with the underclassmen as well. PAC Newcomer of the Year in Lauren Muhanna scored the lone goal in the championship on Saturday, her second game-winning goal of the year. Curious to hear from you how and really what is it about her style of a play that allows her to elevate her game in those big moments while being very calm with her being a first-year college player?
Well, she's a special player for sure. She's very, very talented, comes out of a really good program in high school where she had to perform at that level on a regular basis. So for her, it's just been a matter of kind of settling into our style and our program itself, just being called on as a freshman to carry the load offensively in a lot of ways, but to figure out how to do that with the support around her and with the idea of just playing in freedom. She's still trying to figure that out, I think. But I think, oh man, if she ever does, it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, she loves the game. She, again, has all the talent she needs to just be a dominant player. And I think that was like pretty evident in that goal she scored on Saturday. It was just her doing what she naturally does.
Well, what also stands out about Saturday, 11th straight shutout for your team. That's incredible. And obviously we talked about Maddie Mills in goal, but having the defensive player of the year on your team in Hannah Cost, I'm sure adds a little extra as well. How does her defensive style impact the game in such a big way?
Well, number one, she's very smart about her positioning, and she is so poised on the ball. Like, nothing will rattle her, and there's no panic. And that has kind of spread to our back line, I think, that they trust each other, that everything's going to be all right, even when things get maybe a little dicey and it looks a little hectic from our point of view. I don't think that ever bothers her. And I think that has bled over to the rest of our back line, that they do believe that they can handle most situations, which is, it's been surprising to me, because I always think it's also a bit of luck to have that long of a time without giving up a goal, because goals just sometimes happen too. So it's pretty crazy that we've done that for that many games.
Is it ever mentioned on the team? You know, I know obviously when you have a winning streak, you kind of have that feeling of, oh man, we have to be very careful. Have you ever sensed that with your team, trying to be maybe too careful to not allow a goal?
No, because we've talked about it. It kind of takes some luck. And we can point out instances where we have been fortunate not to have given up goals. So I don't think we've gotten to that point where we're cautious about anything. We've also always talked about playing the game in front of us and not protecting a game behind us or any kind of streak behind us. We just want to play the game in front of us and put our full effort and focus on that.
We've talked a lot about the defense, but also having the offensive player of the year on your team, Tori Stevenson. What is it that makes her stand out so much and really kind of is that guiding force offensively?
The thing about Tori, she does so much off the ball for us. Like, I'm happy she gets the recognition when she scores goals because she's a great player, but her on the ball is not the best thing about her. Her movement without the ball probably is. So the fact that I think this year has really just taken on that role as a goal scorer as well. And she's grown in that. I mean, she didn't start out the year scoring a ton of goals, but as the year goes on, she gets better and better and just more and more locked in. And yeah, she does so much for us that people don't know and don't see. And it's nice for her to kind of get some of that recognition for the goal scoring that she's doing as well.
Well, this journey obviously started at the very beginning of the season. It was a little bit of a rocky road to start, but played a very tough non-conference schedule, played some really, really good teams. When you look back at those first maybe 4, 5, 6 matches, which game stands out the most and you feel kind of prepared for this run?
Well, we learned a lot from all of those games, and they were, intentionally, we try to play really good teams at the beginning of the year to prepare us for the conference and hopefully to prepare us for an NCAA run. And maybe the game that stands out is probably the Dickinson game where we finally got a win, even though we were hanging on by the skin of our teeth. I mean, we were under fire. We scored the first goal 5 minutes in, and the rest of the time we just defended. So like knowing we can still win games that way. I mean, we haven't won games that way for several years, but knowing we can play against a team like that and find a way to get a result, I think is a confidence booster. A game against Carnegie Mellon even was a confidence booster for us, knowing we can play with those type of teams. So there's a lot that we've taken from those games that have helped us through this conference run and hopefully will continue to help us in this next week.
Well, for you individually, this is, if I'm not mistaken, 10th PAC crown since taking over the program in the early 90s. How does this year's team, this run, stand out from others? What makes this year unique and this team unique?
Well, it might be the defensive thing. I would call myself more of an offensive coach, and I always will tell, recruits or anybody, like, I want to score goals. I want to get up and score goals. I'm not going to sit back and defend. So the fact that we are like a really good defensive team is probably pretty unique for us and for me over my career. We haven't had too many teams like this.
Well, obviously, it has been an exciting season and winning another championship, third consecutive for Grove City. But like mentioned, you now shift over to the national stage for the NCAA tournament. Before we let you run, Coach, where and who will you guys be playing? And also, how do you keep the mindset and the mentality at an all-time high going into this national stage?
We are headed to Calvin College, which is now Calvin University. But when I went there, it was Calvin College. So my alma mater is where we get to play. And we get to play against Illinois Tech, a really good team out of Chicago. And our mindset all along has been trying to win a PAC championship with the idea that we also are preparing for this run. So we've had that all along, that we kind of had two goals this year, is not just win a PAC championship, but can we win a game in the NCAA championship? Can we win two? And it's a tall order. We've never done it before in our program, but I love that the players have embraced that and have put that on the front burner, that's what they want. That's what they want to go after. So that's what allowed us to play those games in the non-conference with that in mind. And our conference has also, done a great job preparing us for that. So we I think are going to be pretty locked in because we know what we want. We've wanted it from the beginning of the year.
Coach, I would not be doing my journalistic duties without asking this. Going back to your alma mater, what's that like? It's got to feel special.
I am really excited. I'm really excited. I think it was in 2010 that we lost the conference final to W&J, that they got sent to Calvin, and I was really sad that we wouldn't get to go back. But I'm so excited to go back, and I mean, it's a different place now, but still going to be able to tell some stories and show the players some things about when I was there, and connect with a few people that still live around there. So I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
Coach, enjoy it all. Enjoy the trip down memory lane, the travel as well, and obviously congratulations on all the success and good luck the rest of the way. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thanks so much.
That's PAC Women's Soccer Coach of the Year from Grove City, Melissa Lamie. Jared, take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Jack. Once again, a big congratulations to all of our all-conference participants. This is a well-deserved honor to end the 2025 fall sports season. Thanks for joining us on another President's Athletic Conference Women's and Men's Soccer All-Conference Selection Show. I'm Jared Barton, and as we say goodbye, let's take a look one more time at our all-conference selections. Be sure to catch us next time right here on the PAC Sports Network.